Arnold Palmer, the king of golf who lived like a rainbow. There is an expression, love at the first sight, and it seems to be part of the universal language. To fall in love at first sight, good looks could be necessary, but more importantly is the way you treat people and your attitude towards them. No matter how beautiful and handsome a person is, if one treats others with an arrogant attitude, their beauty will not reach to the hearts of the others. So those who have genuine smiles and natural welcoming gestures are loved by everyone. Among all the golf courses around the world, Pebble Beach has always been selected as the one that American golfers love to play at least once in their lifetime. When people visit Pebble Beach for the first time, there is a spot they always look forward to, the world-famous 7th hole. This par 3 hole is famous because of its breathtaking views. The crashing waves create cloud of white spray, and the sound of them excite golfers looking down at the green. The sight of this small green sitting on the sharp edge of a cliff to the Pacific Ocean is enough to shake any golfer's mind. But before getting to this hole, one must go through the 6th hole, a long and difficult par 4 even to the world's best players. This is where my story began, at Pebble Beach Golf Links in Monterey Peninsula. On a beautiful spring morning, I was teeing up on the 6th hole, and there were two people standing around with a large map on the rough left side of the fairway. They didn't seem to come to play golf, and somehow they looked serious, discussing about something. I had to force a tee shot, hoping that my ball wouldn't hit them, and luckily the ball landed in the middle of the fairway. After stopping the two-seater cart on a hill, I walked down the fairway to find my ball, wondering who those people were. At that moment, one of them I saw earlier was approaching me. I thought it was a well-dressed old gentleman in a bright pink sweater, but he wasn't an ordinary gentleman. Oh my God! It was the king of golf, Arnold Palmer. He smiled brightly at me and said, "That was a great shot." But then, I spat these words out to him. "Arnie, what are you doing here?" Arnie is what American fans called him, but for me to call him that, as if we were long-time friends? But with no hesitation, he responded with a big smile. "Next year, we are having the US Open here, and I'm improving the course for that." One of the greatest golfers of all time was invited to make the course more challenging to the world's best players before the major. Standing next to him was his chief executive architect, and the large piece of paper they were looking at was a course plan, not a map. After listening to his kind explanation, taking several selfies with him wasn't enough. So I asked him, "Arnie, could you please sign my hat?" But we didn't have a pen. In an instant, I saw a driver sitting in a dozer and asked Arnold Palmer to wait a while, thinking that dozer driver always carry a Sharpie with them. So there I put the king of golf on the hill and started running. When I finally returned with the Sharpie, he was waiting for me without a single complaint. Thinking about it now, that might have been rude, but he didn't care. This was my first impression of Arnold Palmer. I could tell immediately that it was his humility and kindness that made him the most beloved golfer in America. Arnold Palmer was born on September 10, 1929 in Latrobe, Pennsylvania, United States. His father, Deacon Palmer, worked as a teaching professional and superintendent at Latrobe Country Club. And it was there that young Arnold followed his father around and spent a lot of time on the golf course from an early age. A promising amateur player since his days at Wake Forest University, anyone who saw his swing even once knew he would become a world-class golfer. A powerful impact like a hockey player and a follow-through like a home run hitter was an authentic swing only Arnold Palmer could make. Palmer made his professional debut shortly after winning the US Amateur Championship in 1954 and recorded his first professional win at the Canadian Open the following year. He's won numerous championships, including 62 on the PGA Tour and 7 majors. However, apart from his winning record, he has some historic achievements in the sporting world that no one else has ever done. Arnold Palmer brought sports to the level of entertainment and transformed golf into a business with various added values. Golf Week, a famous American sports media, compared Arnold Palmer to Elvis Presley and expressed it this way. Palmer never lost his common sense. He was there for the public, who signed autographs for every fan he met, shook hands, and made eye contact. His appearance, good manners, sportsmanship, and observance of rules while playing a fierce competition made viewers listen to what he had to say. He wasn't just a great athlete. He became an excellent star people wanted to follow. And the thousands of galleries that followed him were called the Honest Army. His charisma of aggressive play drives the gallery into a crucible of excitement, splendid celebrations, and taking a sip and throwing a cigarette tossed on a fairway before he makes a swing like a lightning bolt, all aired on TV screens across the United States. He became a star of the TV era, like Elvis Presley did on stages. There is an anecdote that proves the popularity of Arnold Palmer. The 1962 US Open was remembered as the greatest game in golf history. The pairing of the impregnable Arnold Palmer and the rookie Jack Nicklaus on the last day of the competition was itself a great golf moment in history. But the match had to be extended to the playoff next day. During the playoff, Jack Nicklaus had to deal with a more prominent opponent than Arnold Palmer himself. It was the Honest Army. The constant cheering and shouting were enough to shake Jack's concentration. However, Jack Nicklaus did not give in and won the championship by 3 strokes. And for a while, from then on, Jack had to face Honest Army every time he competed against Arnold Palmer. Arnold Palmer was the first in sport history to drive a large fan group. Having such followers made a big difference in his life. His commercial potential as a sports star and entertainer was highly appreciated, and a company was established to manage his schedule and connect him with advertisers. IMG, which to this day is the world's most influential global sports marketing company, was started in 1960 as a sports management company by first signing an exclusive contract with Arnold Palmer. A sports marketing industry rose to elevate companies' images by borrowing the popularity and fame of sports stars. How many people worldwide have ever tried on a pair of socks embroidered with Arnold Palmer's 4-color umbrella logo? In addition to sportswear, his umbrella logo became a means of promoting Arnold Palmer's restaurant, Arnold Palmer's iced tea, and even engine oil, golf clubs, cereal, and soap. The origin of Arnold Palmer's iconic umbrella logo is as follows. After the founding of Arnold Palmer Enterprises, there were several meetings to create his logo, but no novel idea came up. It was raining outside at the time of one particular meeting, and Arnold Palmer, who had been out on a balcony to get some fresh air, saw a woman holding a colorful umbrella getting out of a car outside the building. With the idea, Palmer returned to his conference room and made the 4-colored umbrella logo his symbol. He hosted Arnold Palmer's annual golf tournament at his Florida golf resort, established a golf cable TV broadcast, and even ran a golf course design company. And through his vigorous activities, he showed his younger generation of professional golfers the limitless potential of golf to be pioneered in the world. But if Arnold Palmer had used golf only to make money, he would not have made a name for himself as one of the most influential and beloved king of golf in history. He returned the public's love in a special way. For 20 years, Palmer served as an honorary national chairperson for the March of Dimes Birth Defects Foundation for Overcoming Congenital Disabilities, sponsored the establishment of the Arnold Palmer Hospital for Children and Women, and served as a board of directors for the La Trobe Area Hospital, where he was born. In order to change the social perception of prostate cancer, he instilled courage in cancer patients by spreading awareness about the cancer battle and sharing experiences of overcoming it. Along with Arnie, the Arnie's Army, who followed him, also expanded their fan club activities through social activities. A campaign to win the fight against cancer is still ongoing, which has inherited Arnie's spirit of service and promotes the lifestyle he has always emphasized. Take good care of yourself and take regular health checkups to prevent and fight cancer. Arnold Palmer, the king of golf, with so many achievements but always behaved like a grandfather next door, passed away 6 years ago. At his funeral in September 2016, Jack Nicklaus, his 60-year friend and competitor, said, "I may have had to battle Arnie's army early on, but I never had to battle Arnold Palmer. Today, I'm a proud soldier in Arnie's army. See, I even got an umbrella on my lapel. Each of you sitting here today, or perhaps sitting at home, has at least one wonderful memory of Arnold Palmer to balance out your hurting heart. So today, and many years from now, I simply ask you to just remember when Arnold Palmer touched your life, touched your heart, and please don't forget why," he asked with tears in his eyes. Having had a brief, unexpected meeting with Arnold Palmer at Pebble Beach, I understand more than anyone else what Jack Nicklaus had to say. Arnold Palmer disarmed me with a warm smile and kindness when I first met him. Meeting him left me with an unforgettable and precious memory. However, as Jack Nicklaus asked, the journey to find the answer to the meaning of meeting Arnold Palmer seems to explain why I had to start writing about him. Arnold Palmer showed us that one's life could go on beyond death by leaving an immortal mark that has a positive impact on the lives of the others. His life has been a blessing to all of us and will always be.